unless I'm completely wrong. Marv wouldn't say it, but I'd be flabbergasted if he isn't the head coach here next year.
Well, you never know. It would be a logical assumption to make.
It's only a personal opinion, and nobody has said that to me. But I don't think Norm Kimball, the president of this club, would bring Marv Levy in, let him have a look at the personnel, and then not utilize him in some really significant capacity in 1987.
Well, his teams were always great defensive teams when he had success, and that's how they won a great portion of their ball games. And he's got a good defense to work with here.
Well, what a nice throw by Brian Ransom. But unfortunately, the receiver, Gil Stiegel, was forced out of bounds by Harry Skipper.
Well, he makes a great catch, and this is a super throw. Watch. Once again, he gets all day to throw the football, and that's really the key for any quarterback, and he feathers it in perfectly. And I don't know why Stiegel stepped out of bounds. Looked like he had quite a bit of room after he caught that ball. But, you know, Harry Skipper, who was an Eastern and an All-Canadian All-Star before he played out his option and went down and tried his luck with the Cleveland Browns, he's been beaten up today.
Yeah,
James Hood's been in behind him. He's had an interference penalty, and now Stiegel just blew right by him.
And this is Sean Faulkner. Faulkner has good moves. He's got the real good little deeks in and out, and he gets inside the 20 to about the 18. Billy Jackson was there to make the stop along with number 1, Tony Slayton.
Well, you know, they've done a lot of experimenting at that running back position. They had Harry Sidney. They had a Porter was in there, and Sean Faulkner might be the guy for the future. They've made a lot of changes, got a lot of cuts in from the USFL, and maybe this is a group that they can win with.
Well, Bryant makes the tackle. James Hood, however, makes the catch. And he'll be very close to the first down. Except he didn't. No, I'm sorry, he does not have the first down. He's got about 7 yards.
It's a great call on first down once again, though, and that's really a key in any offense. You've got to get good production on first down so you're not consistently going second along, and that's what it makes it tough for the offensive line.
So on second down and 3 yards to go, let's see what quarterback Brian Ransom does. Hands the ball off to Sean Faulkner, and Faulkner is down very close to the 5-yard line. Dave Albright, the middle linebacker, was there to make a tackle, but Faulkner doesn't mind that because he's put Montreal in scoring position, a position where if they punch it into the end zone, they'll only be down by 4 points.
Well, let's credit that offensive line, too, along that right side. Glenn Keeble, Mike Palumbo, and Trevor Bowles. They do an excellent job blocking for the run. They've done a good job. We talked about their pass protection tonight. It's been a sore spot on their team, but tonight you can't fault them at all.
Well, they've got a full house backfield there for Montreal. But Saskatchewan really comes up tough, and this is a situation where Montreal is going to try to punch it in. And they're going against a bunch of guys that can really handle the run well.
Well, Scott Burke is 6'6", 285. He's a tough guy to blow out of there. So is number 99, Nick Hevler. Noted more as a pass rusher than someone that plays against the run, but these guys can do it both ways.
Well, they just bring one of their wide receivers out, number 88, Jacques Chapdelaine. So you know they're going to run the football. Well, it's at the 3-yard line. They don't get in again. Tony Johns, the ball carrier.
He's the guy they like to give it to in these situations. He's their leading touchdown scorer in 1986. And kind of surprising that he's the biggest of the running backs, and you'd think maybe they'd use him for blocking purposes, but he's the one they want to run with it.
Well, they've got Chapdelaine out of there this time. It wasn't Chapdelaine. It was actually Gerald Alphin. You told me before the game I was going to have trouble with these numbers because all the receivers are in the 80s. 88 and 86 look virtually the same from our vantage point. However, it is third down. Touchdown to go from the 1-yard line. Ransom keeps it himself, and he's into the end zone. It was a good, tough stand by Saskatchewan, but finally, Ransom kept it himself, went over behind Kevin Molly and Lloyd Fairbanks, and the Alouettes are right back in this ball game.
Well, you can tell that Brian Ransom really has confidence in his offensive line because he didn't just take the snap and push straight ahead. He watches to see where the opening comes and the crack in the defense from his blocking on the offensive line, and then he surges actually off tackle into the end zone. But he really had confidence in Lloyd Fairbanks that he was going to make the block, and he did.
And so if Zenon Andrusician is good on the point after, it'll be a 4-point game in favor of Saskatchewan. The Big Z is good. It is. Saskatchewan 24, Montreal 20. A good football game. With 10:34 left to play in the third quarter, we'll be back with the kickoff in a moment. Boy, that was a good-looking drive by the Montreal Alouettes. Quarterback Brian Ransom was 3 for 3 in passing, total of 81 yards in 10 plays. Ransom took it in himself, and we've got a 4-point ball game. Saskatchewan leading Montreal 24-20. Zenit Andersson is ready for the kickoff, and so are the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Tim McRae from his 15. I'll tell you, that's a great run by Tim McRae. He really picked his way, allowed the blocking to set up in front of him, and when he saw the hole, he took it all the way to the 45-yard line before Brian Dudley finally made the tackle. A 50-yard kickoff return by Tim McRae. Watch him.
Well, this is just sheer desire on the part of the special teams. It gets good blocking up front, and Timmy McRae really picks his seams well. Well, we've seen some great returns today by both Tim McRae and Jeff Teflin of the Montreal Alouettes.
From a spectator point of view, this has been a very entertaining football game, and we've still got lots of it to go. Joe Pow at quarterback, looking, throwing deep. It is picked off by Terry Irvin. It was intended for Michael Elarns, but Irvin is there to make the catch. There is a penalty marker down on the field.
Well, that interception is going to stand because once again, Ray Elgard.
Saskatchewan number 81 declined.
There's Ross Perrier telling you number 81, Ray Elgard, jumped offside once again, and Terry Irvin comes up with his 7th interception. The fellow they call T.I., number 32. Played with the Calgary Stampeders for a long time. Now moved over to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and you know, as much as you hate to give up an interception, this is even better than a punt because Michael Elarms knocks Terry Irvin out of bounds, and they're going to have to start from their own 1-yard line.
And as Leap explained earlier in the ball game, the reason that Elgard has been called a couple of times is he likes to be hitting that line of scrimmage full blast at a dead run, and sometimes he crosses that line, and that's what happened on that occasion. Well, the handoff goes inside to Tony Johns, and he barges his way to the 5-yard line for a pickup of about 4, and a very valuable 4 yards it is.
Well, you know, if you're a defensive player, this is a position you love to be in. You've got a team backed up deep in their own end, and you really have a chance to try and stuff them. And if you do, of course, your offense is going to get the ball back in great field position. Big play here, 2nd and 5.
Very big play.
Yeah.
If you don't, it really pumps up the other guy, too. I mean, if Montreal can move this up, you know, it'll give them some confidence. Not that they don't have some already. Look at this big play. There's Sean Faulkner. He's over the 20 to the 23-yard line. That's a great run by Faulkner, who is a newcomer from the University of Western Michigan. He's brought down by Glenn Suter, but of far greater importance is the fact that he gets the ball out of there, out from the shadow of their own goalpost with a 17-yard run.
Now, you talk about explosion as he hits up through the line. Watch number 21, Tony Johns. He's the blocking back for him. He picks off 45, Billy Jackson, hooks him to the inside, and whoosh, there goes Sean Faulkner right by him. And, boy, when you draw that up on the blackboard, that's exactly what you're hoping to get.
Well, Montreal started at their 1-yard line. It was a golden opportunity for Saskatchewan to really hold them in there.
You know, you look at these things as little character builders throughout a game, and Saskatchewan had their chance to stuff them, but Montreal was equal to the task, and now, as you said, this probably gives them a lift being able to punch it out from deep in their own territory, especially running the football, so you love to be able to grind it out.
Faulkner at 6 feet and 195 pounds was shaken up on that play, but he, I'm sure, will be back before long. Tony Johns, the ball carrier. He crosses the 25 to about the 27 before running into Eddie Lowe.
You know, football is a funny game, and at this point, it really becomes a kind of a real macho struggle with all the big hogs out there. You know, you want to run that football, and if you're able to do it successfully, you really have a mental edge against the defensive line if you're an offensive lineman, and able to blow them back and pick up a couple of first downs on the ground.
2nd down and about 7 yards to go. Ransom throws. The pass is intercepted by Billy Jackson. It deflected off the hands of the intended receiver right into Jackson's hands. And what a major play in this 1986 season for the Saskatchewan Roughriders that could turn out to be.
Well, Billy Jackson's 2nd interception of the year comes at a very critical time. You know, I said I wanted to see how the newcomer Gerald Alphen did at the slot back. Well, not too impressed with that one because he should have made the catch.
Absolutely. Saskatchewan leads it by 4. It could be more when we come back. It's 24-20. Roughriders over the Alouettes.
What is it?
8 minutes, 15 seconds left to play as you take a look at Billy Jackson. What a night Billy has had. He's been all over the field, and on this occasion, he takes the deflection off the hands of Gerald Alphin and gives Saskatchewan possession at the Montreal 31-yard line. Riders capitalized on their last 2 turnovers. This is number 3. Let's see if they can get points out of this one. Pow fires over the middle to Tim McRae. McRae with a good stiff arm was able to maintain his balance, and he'll be very close to a first down. Tim was upset. He felt that Brett Williams could have been called for spearing, and he might well have, but I think he missed him.
Well, I think he could have been called for spearing. I don't like to see that. The guy's down the ground, you know, and as much as we like Brett Williams, you know, you have to call it as you see it. And, well, we're going to see at the end here. Montreal's had trouble at times tonight tackling. Have missed a few, and when Michael Elarms went in the end zone, yeah, that's spearing.
Yep. McRae is very close to that first down. Looks like he just might be inches short. They're going to call it second down in inches, which is a break for Saskatchewan, actually, because it gives them that extra down. They'll spot the ball at about the 21-yard line and then push it out about 7 inches. And that's what Saskatchewan has to go for the touchdown. They are inches away from a first down.
Well, you know what, the veteran Joe Pow, great opportunity for a little play action.
Yeah.
Got a couple of inches to go. I'm sure Montreal's defense will be thinking that as well, too.
Well, your quarterback in Saskatchewan used to do it constantly.
My other one in Hamilton, Tommy Clements, was great at it.
Pow's not going to take any chances. He's going to play this one close to the vest, keeps the ball himself, gets to the 20, has the first down, and Saskatchewan keeps it moving. Clock is running at 7 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in the third quarter of a ball game that has been entertaining from its opening kickoff. 24-20, Saskatchewan over Montreal. But it's the kind of a game that you expect whichever team has the ball last may well end up winning it. And off inside to Denny Ferdinand. And Ferdinand runs in to Lamont Jeffers, number 72, the linebacker. Well, now it gets a little tougher because Ferdinand was limited to a pickup of a yard at most. It's 2nd and 9. They've got to throw the football. Let's see where they go. Do they go to the end zone right now? Run a little out, bring somebody underneath. Let's watch as Joe Pow, the quarterback, sits back in that shotgun formation. Fires to the end zone, no good. Now, was he looking